Facebook. This is Bob Diamond, tax sale attorney. So his primary business, or how he got started and what he's about to be coaching and what we're going to be talking about, is that he helps people recover money that's held by the government due to a real estate tax a sale or something like that, some kind of a foreclosure, a tax sale, or something like that. And so there's money left over that the government keeps, but it belongs to somebody else. And so, but they don't really notify those people. They don't tell them, oh, you got $50,000 that we have in a fund, and all you got to do is call us up and it's yours. But he helps people do that. He helps people recover that kind of money. And so what he's doing now is doing a coaching program in which he helps ordinary people collect help people collect money. So basically get a finder's fee for helping somebody else collect their money, collect their $100,000 or whatever that they have in this fund. Okay, so we're gonna just go over to his ad. Can't really see it too well here. Um, and the ad is mostly a video, and so I'm not gonna really delve into it too much. So let's just go right to his sales page. So here's the sales page, um, and he's showing somebody. This is one of his students that made $128,000. You can see the check right here. So this is really, really impressive. So America's tax sale attorney Bob Diamond presents the Slush Fund Profits Masterclass. So this is a webinar, like in a masterclass. You're gonna learn something. It's not something you're buying and downloading or anything like that. So this is gonna be a class, and so he's gonna show you how you can help by helping other people recover money. You're gonna get a finder's fee. And then apparently, I guess this woman, her finder's fee was $128,000. So I don't know what kind of money she recovered for somebody else. But hey, people, if you help me find, recover $100,000 that I didn't know I had, I'd give you a lot of money. I'd maybe 50%. I'd split it with you. So I don't know what that entails. We're just going to review the sales page. So right here, it just it says who he is, and what it's all about. And then also, and usually I talk about like who's your audience, who you talking to. Well, there's no particular person like industry. You're not talking to just coaches or consultants or speakers or anything like that, because it's basically anybody. But maybe it would have helped to have been like, hey, anybody. This is for all the people who want to get the heck out of their job, or who need a side hustle, or who need extra money. This is for people who, I would say something like, this is for those people, working people, or who need extra money, who need an extra, maybe you can put it in, who would like to have an extra $50,000 coming to you, or something along those lines. Just kind of like, who's this for? Okay, so now we got the Slush Fund Profits Masterclass. Then he's got the video talking about how people help, talking about the whole system and how it works. Okay, so here is the form in which we're going to opt in. So discover how to collect monthly checks from local governments nationwide. Okay, that's great. What's great about this is that you're collecting money from governments, right? From the government. And we all know the government has a lot of money. They just deal in millions and millions of dollars. And what's also great about this program is you're helping people just like you, ordinary citizens who have money owed to them. And so it's not like you're helping some, greedy real estate tycoon recover, rent from somebody he kicked out of their house a couple months ago, and they owe like 3 months back rent or something like that. You're helping ordinary people and collect money from the greedy government. And I'm going to get more into that later. And so it says save my seat. Okay, so right now you're thinking, okay, well, this is just an ordinary thing, and webinar, and it sounds exciting, like, oh my God, all these people got this money. And so if you don't read down to here, so it's $7. But if you just looked at the video, you clicked here, this is what you're going to be seeing. I'm going to scroll up. So the masterclass, yes, I'm ready. And then now it's like it's more than just a thank you page. It's now like, well, wait a second, what what's going on here? Um, and then you realize here it's $7. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. But let's just get back to the sales page. Um, because the reason why I'm making a note of that is because it only mentioned it's $7 in one place. So that may or may not be a good thing, and we'll talk about that in a second. So what I love about this right now is that it's a simple video. It's only a couple minutes long. Um, I guess the one thing that I picked up on that I kind of think it's kind of a distraction is it reminds me of the 1990s infomercials that you saw on TV about making money in real estate, and a lot of those people went to jail. Okay, so Bob's got this floral shirt. He's got the background. He looks like he's maybe in Hawaii having a great time. And it just reminds me of those 90s infomercials um, of those real estate scams. And so, like I said, a lot of those people went to jail, or not even just real estate, just making money kind of things where people holding up a check, and it just, I would present it in a different way because I it sounds like a very honest business. I don't know if it is or it isn't. And but he's presenting it kind of in that fashion. Um, and so a lot of people may remember that. I don't know. I mean, it's worth something testing, but that just kind of like a turn off for me right away. Okay, so people are getting their checks. They're very happy. Okay, collect big checks by helping people recover funds from local governments that local governments owe them. That's a great promise. It's kind of altruistic, um, and then it just discover how to profit from local governments nationwide. I mean, this is great because I mean I would say 99% of the people dislike the government, right? You dislike the government, and you should have the piece of the pie. I mean, I remember when Obama was running for election, a lot of people were like, "I want some of that Obama money." People were saying that people want like money from the government. They want so the biggest money making opportunity hiding in plain sight. Okay, that confirms any doubts. Like, well, how come I haven't heard of this? Oh, it's been hiding. It's just in plain sight. Okay, no experience needed. Beautiful. Works in any economy. Good. I could, long term. It's not just now. Claim your seat. Okay, so here it is. It has a specific day. This Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So it feels like a live event. I mean, it doesn't have the date. Doesn't have a specific date, but it has a day, has a time. So it feels like it's going to be a live event, and you're paying for it. Save my seat. Okay. So now we get from the desk of Bob, um, and see what I don't like about this section, and I'll read it in just a second. It's just it says a lot of the same stuff everybody else is saying, and I'm not against what it's saying. It's just how it's being said. So let's just read over it real quick. If you're like most people, you probably feel like you're working way too hard for way too long and making too little. Okay. Um, that, like, yeah, everybody feels that way, but it's like you're probably, or maybe it's I don't know, it's kind of a soft approach. Okay, so you might be worried about the economy, inflation making it hard to make ends meet, the fear of a looming recession. um I'm not even sure that's a sentence. Maybe your job isn't all that subtle, or maybe your job isn't all that stable either. I mean, it's hard to get ahead in a job that just keeps you just over broke. Even if you're doing well, working hard for a big corporation, odds are you're trapped in a position that gives you little or no free time. I love everything they're saying. I just don't like the way they're saying it. I would present it as like this harrowing story. The story is like, meet Jack. You know, Jack works way too hard. He's working, give specific numbers. He's working 60 hours a week in his job. He's got a boss that's bearing down on him, and he can't make any money in this economy. He can't stay afloat. He's got his rent to pay. He's got bills to pay, and inflation is just killing him. And then there's always, always the fear of a recession, and every, whatever, every 10 years there's a recession coming, and then he loses all his money. Even when he does get ahead, he loses his money. And then his job is never stable. He's had, 3 jobs in the last 10 years. And it's, just make it this big, harrowing story about this guy named Jack who just, he just can't get ahead. And then Jack discovered this program where he can get people. And then, or maybe you don't even have to be specific. Just say, Jack finally said, enough was enough. I got to do something different than what I've been doing for the last 10 years. And you're going to leave it at that. You don't even have to say it's about, this program. Just say, Jack finally, he finally said enough is enough. And that's what you want people to feel. You want people to feel like, okay, you're right. Absolutely. I feel like Jack, that enough is enough. It needs to have a little more oomph to it. Okay. So the great salary and benefits, more of this kind of empathy copy, feeling unfulfilled, unsatisfied, with few, if any, opportunities to grow. All the kind of the same thing that I was talking about, which is great. I would just make it this like very dramatic story about somebody, and then really, get more specific. It's a little general. And then this thing, I got a personal beef with this. I just got to say that I worked for a company, and the marketing director said, this is what we're going with. Create your own economy. We're going to do a whole marketing campaign around this. And I was like, well, what does that mean, create your own economy? It sounds like a lot of work to me. I mean, who wants to create their own economy? I mean, America has an economy. Every country has an economy. It's huge. Your neighborhood doesn't have an economy. Like your school doesn't really have an economy. So why would I want to create my own economy? It doesn't make any sense. It's rather stupid, in my opinion. And so the company I worked for wanted me to do that, and I pushed back, explaining everything I just said. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would somebody want to create their own economy? So in this page, just take it out. It doesn't make any sense. And I even looked it up, this word. There's nothing on the internet about it except for somebody wrote a book a couple years ago, and that's it. Nobody's using that term ever. So be careful about what you put in. You got to be very, very careful. Like, create your own economy. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want extra money, but I don't want to create my own economy. I mean, if you wanted to say something like, create your own retirement or engineer your own, lifestyle or something like that, that might be more palatable, but I don't want to create my own economy. It sounds like a lot of work. Fortunately, they don't elaborate on this, and it's just thrown out there, but I would just leave it off. Break free from the corporate chains job that keeps you stuck in the rat race. I mean, this is all good stuff. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how, it's just nuts. I mean, it's all the stuff where, people kind of like, okay, yeah, okay, I know what you're saying. Okay, so what is a golden opportunity? So now they're getting to, they talked about the problem. This is where you are. This is how it is. Now, what's the solution? So listen to it. About 3,000 times every day, something happens across the country, which results in local governments over collecting millions of dollars. The problem is the money is not theirs to keep, but they want it anyway. I don't know if I would say they want it. I would just say they keep it anyway. It's not theirs to keep, but they keep it anyway. Not they want it anyway. So the municipalities put the money in secret slush funds. Okay, beautiful. I like it. It's in a so it's kind of like in a fund. It's not really ready to be spent or anything like that. So if the rightful owner never shows up to collect, the local government keeps the money. Okay, so you're kind of explaining what's going on. But here's the thing: the people owed this money often have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I would say that makes sense, which means the money, their money sits uncollected and finally becomes a property. So, um, and then he says, it doesn't sound very fair, does it? I agree. And so, kind of, more an understanding of like, hey, we're on the same page. You think the government is being unfair. Well, I agree, and this is why I made it a mission to recover $100 million. So let's just move on. So I mean, I generally I think that the copy is good, except for that one part where I would say, more of a dramatic story. Um, Here's where I think that they're putting in stuff that I think they're going to lose some people. Okay, so let's just look at this. The rewards, both financial and otherwise, are truly priceless. I would say I would get into this like you're helping people. I worked for a business and helping doing some of their email marketing, and their business was creating building houses for unfortunate, for like maybe retired veterans or older people. And um, they talked about the rewards both being financial and, kind of like emotional, like, you feel good about yourself. And so I would kind of elaborate on that so people don't feel like they're doing something that's, um, I don't know what the word is, but they're doing something for other people. I think a lot of people feel genuinely like they want to do that, and I would work that into that a little bit more. I mean, granted, you don't have to be too altruistic to take money from the government. It's just like, wow, yeah, I'd love to take the money from the government. So now you can reap. Okay, so now you can reap the financial rewards too while helping people at the same time. Again, this is great. I would just kind of elaborate on that. So this is where I think that gets lost, and a lot of people may not even read this, and that's fine. That'd actually be good because I think this is going to lose some people. That's just one of the money making strategies you'll discover during the masterclass. The second strategy shows you how to get incredible yields in small investments. Okay, so my problem is that it seemed like it was just one thing, right? You're just finding lost money. I thought that's what the program was all about. Like it's one, like most people, they don't want to do a bunch of different things. They want to do one thing. They want to, write one book for a Kindle, and they want to do one video for YouTube or whatever. They don't have to do all this other marketing. Like if you were selling a YouTube program, you go, hey, just make YouTube videos. Once you make one, you make another one and another one. But what they don't tell you is, oh, you got to go market your YouTube video. Then you got to get a bunch of followers on Instagram, and then you got to post it on Facebook, and like if you told everybody on how to make YouTube videos on that page, you'd lose them because people go, well, I just want to make the videos. You just want to get people in the door, and don't talk about all the extra stuff going on. Just get them to do that one thing. Because if they think all I need to do is find these people who have money, then I get paid, and that's great. But now they're saying like a second strategy. It's like, well, now you're making it complicated. Uh, okay, and then they don't even really explain it, right? They go, the second strategy shows you how to get incredible yields on small investments. What yield? What do you mean by yield? I don't understand that. On small investments, what are you talking about? So that means I got to put money into it? Like I thought I was finding money for other people and I was getting paid. Like, what are you talking about here? Okay, so that's, and then okay, as much as 4 times more than you would get from regular interest bearing account. Well, I can tell you some interest bearing accounts, like regular ones, like the Bank of America interest bearing, it's like 0.65%. So what am I getting? Like 2%? I mean, which can quickly add up to thousands of extra dollars per month. All right. I mean, that sounds appealing, but it sounds like what are we? You're getting away from the main event. Like the main thing um, is finding people money. Okay, so the third strategy lets you buy certain cash producing assets. Well, I don't want to. Wait, I'm buying stuff now? I thought I was finding money and getting the check. I mean, now I'm buying stuff. Like, I don't. This is I mean, this to me sounds like a completely different program. It sounds like an investing program. It's like you should have a completely different website. Buy cash producing assets for pennies on the dollar. I mean, I thought you were the expert on recovering money, but now you're the expert on buying cash producing assets for pennies on the dollar. I mean, that to me is like a completely different skill set. Like you're an expert in that. So I would just I would take all of this out. I wouldn't even have it in the webinar, but if it's in the webinar, then whatever. But I would just take this out because it's just you're going to lose people if they read it. People don't read everything, but some people might go, well, I'm going to pay $7 for this, so I better know what I'm getting myself into. And if you're somebody like me, I'm like, well, now you just complicated it. Maybe this isn't really finding cash for money. Maybe it's some other thing. Like I'm kind of confused. So you really muddied the waters. I guarantee you're losing conversions on this, and I guarantee you'll gain conversions if you get rid of it. Okay, this is Bob Diamond success. This is why so many people just like you are joining us for the masterclass. I love it. This is it. You're selling, you're getting back to selling the masterclass. So many people, they don't, it's great to sell the program, like what it is you do, get people locked into it, but you got to sell the masterclass. And so you got to get people to feel like, oh yeah, if I get into this masterclass, I get a check. Almost like I don't even have to do anything. Um, so this is I really like this, and then you got more people, more checks. I mean, you don't even really. I mean, what's beautiful, you don't need some wordy testimonial, just people showing their checks. Earnings disclaimer, pretty good. I think this is really good, especially right here, because it's like, somebody. I think sometimes, a lot of times, when you put a disclaimer, but people at ease, they go, okay, you know what? This isn't some hypey BS. Um, okay, now you two will know how to find lucrative opportunities nationwide, recover funds for the rightful owners, and claim a share of the profits right from the company owner. Okay, this is beautiful. I would, um, that that's great. That's a great promise right there. You're going to help people. You're going to work nationwide. Um, and that's important because some people may think, especially in real estate, I noticed this in a lot of places. When you talk about real estate, people think maybe they can only operate in their own backyard, right? In their own state or something. So you can work nationwide. Okay, so let's get into what they're talking about in the masterclass. What you'll discover at the Slush Fund Profits Masterclass. Okay, so it says join attorney Bob Diamond as he reveals the secrets behind the most exciting money-making opportunity of the year. Okay, so let's just stop right there. I would say the most money-making opportunity of the year. I would say, you know, this could be the most exciting money-making opportunity of your lifetime. I mean, because some people go, well, if does this wear off in a year, or maybe it's not. So it's just a year. I would say you miss this. You missed out on the best money making opportunity of your lifetime. Okay, not a big deal. Just nitpicking. You'll see folks like you cashing in on this tax code loophole by helping people nationwide. Yeah, I think I don't know. I guess I would try to get like more specific, but of what they're doing. I mean, I guess part of me, and unfortunately, I'm not really new to this because I'm kind of familiar with Bob because I've seen his ads on YouTube. But if somebody not familiar with him and like cold traffic and they're just seeing this for the first time, probably may not. What does this mean? Helping people nationwide? I don't understand that. I would say by helping people recover their money. Um, and then this tax code loophole, you got to be careful when you add words that you haven't talked about previously. It's like, okay, now you just added a whole new thing. Like it's a tax code loophole. tax code loophole. So, okay, it gets people to think just little, maybe more than you need them to. Like, oh, now it's a loophole. Should I even be doing this? Is this illegal? When you mention that, and there's nothing wrong with mentioning it. It's just then you have to explain it and then go, yeah, the tax code says this, but the tax code says this, but nobody knows about this. So I would just leave that out. Don't introduce things that are going to get people to think too much. Okay. So register for the Slush Fund Profits Masterclass and discover. All right, 3 ways to hit the income jackpot with the government's. I guess I would just get specific. 3 ways, the 3, the 3 weekend tricks, or the 3, Excel spreadsheet tricks or something, a little more tangible. I mean, just 3 ways is, it's not horrible, but like you get more specific. I like this one. Why this is easier than selling on Amazon, trading stocks, flipping real estate, or any other typical business. I would say any other maybe online business, or I mean, flipping real estate isn't really online, but I would say, yeah, I don't know if I would say typical because it's, I mean, I guess technically it is. Okay, how to spot the most lucrative situations with zero competition. I mean, I don't know why it says situations. I guess it's just they don't want to use the word deals or something. How to spot the most lucrative deals with zero competition. I would say maybe opportunities. How to spot the most lucrative opportunities with nearly zero competition. Um, the secret, the secret to finding all the deals. Well, here it says deals. Okay, the secret to finding all the deals you can handle for free. Um, I don't know. Sounds weak. It sounds like my BS meter is going up. It's like whatever. How to cash in even if you have no experience ever. Okay, it's just these bullets are not horrible. They're not like what they're saying is not horrible. It's just they just need to be kind of worked on to really drive home, right? How to cash in even if you have no experience whatsoever. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rewrite it here and now, but it could be better. The hidden loophole that opens up um, opens up this once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't even know what the heck that means. I mean, you talked about the loophole up there. I mean, I mean, here's the thing about bullet points. And when it comes to like books, when it comes to like videos and things like that, I found these powerful. I use these in my emails. If you can reference and go, you know, 10 minutes into whatever you're going to be watching, the master class, Bob's going to reveal. He's going to reveal the hidden loophole that whatever opens the lifetime opportunity for you, or something more specific. I mean, it basically when I read these bullet points, it sounds like Bob's not going to talk about anything. It's just the only thing tangible that maybe Bob's going to touch upon is this is easier than selling Amazon's trading stocks or whatever. Um, there's nothing really tangible. So if you want to really, really, really grab people and get them into your webinar, you got to have, it's like, you're referencing chapters, right? You're referencing chapters, or, you say, you're going to find out this loophole, page 36. And people go, okay, that's really in the book. You're not just BSing me. Because these bullet points sound like a whole lot of generalized BS, except for the second one. I mean, it mentions some tangible things I can kind of visualize, but everything else is like I can't. I don't know what to do with it. Best part, Bob will share 20 years of his experience in the industry and show you how to set up a wildly profitable business that is simple, high profit, and low risk right from the comfort of your home. Okay, you gotta be. like I don't know who reviews any of this stuff, like who says, "Oh, this is great." A wildly profitable business, great. That is simple, high profit. You just said wildly profitable. Now you're saying high profit. I mean, it's like I got it. I mean, like use your words sparingly because this is the thing. People go, well, they don't want to read all that. Well, if you fill your page with a bunch of nonsense, you're right. They don't want to read all that. But if you make every word count, and then they will read all that. So just don't write this garbage. All right, write from the comfort of your own home. Great, perfect, love it. Yeah, and expand on some of this stuff. Like you go, you won't have to go chasing down people. You won't have to go. You won't even have to go into. I mean, especially if this is a tax thing, you might want to say, maybe you don't want to reveal too much, but you're like, yeah, you're not going to have to go into the tax or the clerk's office or the downtown or whatever the town hall. You don't even have to go to town hall. You can do it from your comfort of your own home. You got a laptop? Do you have a laptop? You're in business. Done. You're in business. You don't even have to go to town hall. Okay. Here's a quick summary of what you need to know. The slush. I'm not even going to read the summary because it's a summary. It's nice to first of all, and I say this all the time, and I think this is part of the reason why I don't want to read it, because when you put white text on a black background or any kind of dark background, it's really hard to read. It's just kind of annoying. And we call this reverse type. And they talked about, I mean, there's been studies on this, and they've been talking about it since like the 60s. I mean, David Ogilvy talked about it. It's fine when you got a big header like this, that's okay, or maybe a few bullet points, but when you got like these paragraphs that are white on dark background, it's just very, very hard to read. It's kind of like I don't want to read this. And I know there's some places that's all they do. I mean, the X platform. I guess they're trying to be different. But I'll tell you this: there's a couple search engines that start up that try to compete with Google. I mean, I know Google's hard to compete with anyone, but both times they did white text on black background, and I'm not sure. I'm not saying that was the downfall, but it didn't help. Okay, so you got it. You got the opt-in form again right here at the bottom. This is beautiful. I love it. Private private policy, beautiful terms and conditions. I'm not going to open it up, but it all looks good. Save my seat. Okay, so now we've looked through the whole page. The people getting checks. It sounds impressive, but it sounds a little sketchy. I mean, it sounds like, this guy's wearing the shirt. I don't know. It just sounds a little. I don't know. Is this really what I want to do? I mean, am I really helping people or am I scamming people? Like you gotta be really careful about how you word these money making opportunities because I think people are generally honest and they don't want to do anything that's skeevy. I can't even tell you how many times I've heard that from people. There's like, oh yeah, you make a lot of money, but it's really sketchy. Like you're doing some skeevy stuff, and people don't want to do that. Okay, so we scroll down, we read all this stuff, we save my seat. Now we got to this page, so we're gonna review this, and then we're gonna be done. So I understand I can do this anywhere in the world without leaving home. Beautiful. Yes, I'm ready. See, like having these statements are great after you've explained it previously, like this should be the summary, right? Okay, the slush fund profits is 100% live. Okay, um, live virtual. I mean, if it really is, and I know on the previous page it said Sunday at 7 p.m., but like it doesn't have a date to it. And I know this, they want to keep this page keeping from having to update it all the time. But I tell you, I worked at some places. You put the date on there, the exact date, the exact time, and everything like that. Your conversions are gonna go crazy. I gotta tell you. Um, you'll see You'll see how to find these government slush funds and claim a share of the profits. Okay. No license, no experience required. Beautiful. You can do this from the comfort of your home. Beautiful. and a few hours a week make it one of the easiest, most lucrative opportunities. Okay, they should have mentioned that the few hours a week, like what how much is that's like people's objection. Like this is going to take me all day, all week. Bob will take you step by step and reveal everything you need to get started. Okay, and then here is I like this: shop with confidence. 100% money back guarantee, no hassle returns, da 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 da. And then this thing, who knows if it means anything, but it sounds good. Okay, and then you fill out your information, your shipping address. I don't know why I need my shipping, you know, and then you pay. Okay, so now it's $7. This is what you're paying for. You can uncheck it, and you got $7. This is what you're paying for total, $7. So there's no hidden fees. And then you can either pay by PayPal or your credit card. I would say the only thing I would say on there is something like at the bottom here and go, what happens next? Like, what do I do? What happens when I like, where is this class? Like, if I because and I would say, maybe step one, fill out the form. Step two, on the next page, once you complete on the next page, you're going to get a link to the class, and also maybe you can say number three, you are going to get an email right after this. You're going to get a receipt. You're going to get an email with the link to the class, and you're going to get a couple reminder emails before the event. That's what I would do, because right here, it's like a black hole. Like, where is this going to? I don't know. I don't know where this is going to. It's only Here's the thing. Here's the thing you need to understand also. Like it gets me when people are like, well, it's only $6. But you're only thinking about the money. Yeah, it's only $6. But here's the thing. People are giving you their credit card. There's so many scams out there. They're like, they ask for like $5 and you get this big awesome thing, and it turns out to be a total scam just to get your credit card. So you have to, I like this reassurance, but you have to give people assurance, like what's going to happen after this? What after I do this, what's going to happen? So I would have one, two, and three. Number one, after you hit the button, complete your order, you'll go to the next page, which will give you instructions on what to do, and you'll get a link. Number two, you will get an email with a receipt and instructions and a link to the webinar. Number three, you will get 3 reminders before the event, or whatever. I don't know how many reminders they'll send out because it says Sunday. I mean, I'm recording this on Monday, so that's almost a whole week around, but if somebody's on a Saturday. But anyway, you'll get reminders before the event. Leave it at that. Then people know, right? They're reassured, like, okay, this isn't bogus. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people who are going to get to the stage and they're going to like, not doing it. I mean, especially when the first thing they do is just fill this out and click it out and think it's a free webinar. And then they get to this page and like, oh, wait a second. And then they got to go back. They got to read this thing. Now they got to go back and go, oh, okay, here it is. It's $7. Also another thing, I mean, this is really kind of, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think I understand, want to get people's money, but you kind of going to lose a lot of trust because it's kind of, whoa, $7, I want my credit card, and da 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 da. And you don't really get to this right here. Here's the thing about money and price. It doesn't matter what price you put out as long as you justify the price, right? Because people are going to be like, even if it was like $1,000, people are going to stick around and go, well, why is this $1,000? They're going to read, like, if you can justify why it's $1,000. No, people aren't going to be. I mean, some people will be turned off, and it doesn't matter how much you say it up front and then throw the price at the end. They're still not going to afford it. All right, coming up on 40 minutes, I want to end this. Thanks for joining me. This has been great. And so I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.